What's up, guys? Full disclosure, this is my Saturday morning. It is 6:15, and I'm really just chilling here, just chilling on my sofa. So this is not some done-up video. This is just me sitting here reflecting about the past week and the wins, and honestly feeling like very, very grateful. Just that I am where I am right now, and yeah, all of that, and just really, I'm really, what I'm thinking about doing is posting in the Wins channel, not only in the program that I'm running, but in the program that I'm in, that I'm getting coached in, and really celebrating that a little bit. But here's what I want to say about this. So this week has been a normal, revenue week for me. Like these weeks, or these days, I do probably somewhere between 6 and 12K per week, of like new sales, like new revenue. And so this was not like some, crazy amazing week that was, higher than the rest of them. It was a normal week in terms of like revenue. But it was a very good week in so many other ways. There's just so many other wins that happened. And specifically, it was a very good week in doing the things and taking the actions that are very, very clearly a vote for the direction that I want to go, the place that I want to take the business, and what I would say most importantly, the person that I want to become. And this is like really, really important to me. If I'm being so honest, for me personally, the thing that I like the most about business is that you become, to me, it's just about the person that you become. Like it is 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like there's so much external awesome stuff. Like, there's a ton of awesome stuff, right? Like being able to travel wherever the fuck you want, and live in nice places, and financially whatever, and helping a lot of people, and all that stuff is amazing, right? Don't get me wrong, all of it's amazing, especially helping people. It's fucking great. Loving what you do, all great. But for me personally, my highest values are growth and service. And growth, what am I trying to say here? It's about the person that you become. And that is the most intrinsically valuable thing to me. Like, I would take an intrinsic, I don't even know if that's the right word I'm using here, but like an internal personal win almost over the external wins, over, my business hit this revenue or whatever. And so this week, I just want to give you this to chew on, and which is why I'm literally filming this video on a Saturday morning with, not amazing hair, like laying on my sofa, because I really want to drop this nugget into your brain, because I think it's going to be hugely, hugely impactful for you. And so I guess what I'm trying to say here is I really want you not only to focus on the external results that are happening in your life or your business right now, right? And it doesn't matter what you're going after. If it's a business thing, like an external result in a business thing would be, making 10K per month or 10K per week or whatever it is, right? That would be an external result. But there are, internal things that go into that. There are mindset shifts internally. There are actions that you need to take, right? Like, maybe in order to hit a 10K month, you need to work through internally some fears of rejection and talk about your offer more, right? Maybe like fitness type of stuff. If you want to, get to a certain body fat percentage, okay, well, an outcome, like external win of that is you drop 2 pounds on the scale. Okay, great. But like, what about the spot where you internally changed your relationship with food? You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that I'm more interested in. And I will just say for me this week, it's been an average like new revenue week, right? That's great. There's a ton of other amazing things that happen, like other external wins. But two of the big internal shifts that have happened for me that I know in this moment aren't creating the biggest external shifts, but I know that as we go along, as this, as my timeline, gets longer, right, they're going to create big external shifts, but it's the internal shifts now that really change your trajectory, right, from going like this to going like this, because you're a different person, you're doing things differently, right? And for me, this week, it's really been, let me grab this, uno momento. But I've been reading this book by Dan Martell, and I've really been living this, right? And for me, I have a default setting that is I'm going to do everything myself. I learned when I was younger, in a sense, that it's better to spend time to save money. An example of that is, driving around to 7 different grocery stores with my mom to get the best deal in tomatoes. We spent our time to get our money. And now I'm really having to channel this different version of myself. It's like, hey, if you keep channeling this version of you, you're going to you're going to get capped, right? Like, or your business is going to grow slower than it needs to. And so I'm channeling this new version of me that is like, no, you spend money to save your time. And I've done that in, different areas with mentorship and things like that. But in this current season, it's about eliminating tasks that I don't need. It is about automating the tasks that I do need if I can automate them. And if I can't, it's about hiring people to help me buy back my time. Those are the shifts that are having to happen right now. It is very much just living this, right? And so, it just, to me, it involves team, leadership, not trying to do everything yourself, systemizing things. I was making a joke with everyone, some people on my team and some people in my program right now, and saying like, I'm going to get systems fucking tattooed on my wrist this month. Like, this is the word of the month is systems, right? And so what I have done this week that has not yet contributed to, the external income wins is there's 2 big things that I systemized this week. I systemized the heck out of accounting and bookkeeping because every fucking quarter I lose a day to this. That seems not that crazy. Maybe I lose 2, but every time, especially around the year-end time, I lose a week. Like, every time I have to do this stuff, right? But what I've done is I've systemized, right? I'm thinking processes, systems, team, scale, right? I'm changing my thinking to how do I do this thing once so I never have to do this thing again, right? And for me this week it's been automating my bookkeeping, right? I already have gotten help with that and delegated it, right? I finally have a bookkeeper. Man, I'm so resistant sometimes, it's hilarious, but finally have a bookkeeper. And then the other thing is automating things, taking the time to go slow in order to go fast, right? And so it's been number 1, going on ChatGPT, learning a bunch of things, how to set up filters in my inbox so that when certain emails come in from certain senders with certain subject lines, with certain numbers in the thing which relate to my business card, they get tagged, they get filtered as a business receipt, they get forwarded to my bookkeeper. I've even set up a Zapier automation so that the moment something gets tagged as a business receipt, it automatically takes that email and puts it into a PDF format and uploads it to a folder on Google Drive. So when my bookkeeper says, yo, I'm missing these receipts, here's the link. Actually, they should already be in your inbox. There's no more hunting, right? So that process has been systemized and automated. And what I couldn't automate, I delegated to my bookkeeper. And so I'm hands off that now, right? I've got better tracking and accounting, and I'm not losing receipts, and I have better reporting for income and stuff in my business. And my point is, that's one thing I worked on. I guess that's kind of an external win in a little way. Like, I have an actual process around that. But internally, there was a big win on changing my thinking, right? Thinking, how can I do this once and never have to do this again? How can I buy back my time? And there's a number of different lessons I'm going to summarize for you at the end of this video, and I hope you take something from this. One of them being, like, you can't just read shit. You have to do the shit, right? I read this book like 4 weeks ago, and now I just sit it on the stand here beside me because I want the visual reminder that, have you fucking done this? Have you executed on what's in this book? Because if you haven't, don't move on to another book, right? So anyways, that's that. So that's one thing, is completely automating basically my bookkeeping process. Like, I'm like hands off this now. I do almost nothing in this process, which is perfect because now I have more time to market, more time to scale the business, more time to serve my clients, more time for my life, right? So that's been one thing. And another thing, and this is going to sound fucking crazy. This sounds so prima donna to me, honestly, in some senses, but something that I completely systemized this week, and this took thinking. It took a mindset shift to start of reading this, and then it took me executing on this. And this sounds like so simple, but it's like this is the internal stuff that you got to do, right? But the shift that I made internally, so the process that I systemized is I completely systemized my travel. This is going to sound so prima donna, but when I want to go somewhere now, I have 100% documented, sorry, my phone's low battery. I have 100% documented process of how do we find the safe places in that country? How do we put these on Google Maps? How do we find the right Airbnbs in the right locations? Exactly my fucking preferences for Airbnbs. Gotta have a gym. South America, gotta have AC. Gotta have Wi-Fi. Gotta have a dedicated, like, everything to a T. How to match up the vibe check. Like, how to make it an Airbnb that I am going to like to stay in, right? And then how to shortlist those, right? Send me the last, like, 5, places. How to book the flights, my preferred days to travel, preferred times to travel, other things in there. Just all this stuff. But my point is, the other thing that I systemized, which was costing me time every single time I had to do this, is travel. The booking of the flights and the Airbnbs and the commute from the airport and the medical insurance and all that stuff. It's completely documented and systemized. And it first took me undoing the thought that only I could do this because only I know my preferences for Airbnb and blah, 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 the bullshit that we come up with. I call BS, right? You have a process, you have something that you do, you have a way that you think when you go to do this, and you can systemize this, and you can train somebody else to do this. And so that was thing one, is like unconvincing myself that only I could book my travel. No, bullshit. And if you stop booking your travel, you'll get a day back every single time that you do this, and you could better use that to grow your business and create better results for your clients and put yourself in your zone of genius, right? So that was thing one, was shifting the thinking. Thing number 2 was systemizing the process. So it was the internal win, right? The internal win that doesn't result in immediate, more revenue for the business. That had to come first, right? I mean, the awareness really had to come first. Let's put this into a process, right? I always come up with frameworks, but the first one's fucking awareness, right? Let's call it that. The second one is you have to use that awareness to shift your mindset. The third thing that's going to happen is you have to do that to, you have to systemize something or start taking different actions, if you will. So let's call this awareness, number 1, and then a mindset shift, right? A thinking shift. And then you have to take different actions. The actions were me systemizing the process. So first, becoming aware that I had to buy back my time. Second, having the mindset shift, having to do the mental inner whatever of oh yeah, I need to think differently about this. I can give this to someone. The third thing is actually taking the time to take the actions and systemize the process, right? The fourth thing the external win of me having that time back, of me being able to use that time to increase the revenue of the business or get better client results or have more time in my life, I haven't seen that external result yet, but it will come, right? Every time from here going forward, when I have to book a trip, I'm not going to have to do that. And I don't lose a day for that anymore. Every time that my accountant needs stuff, or it's bookkeeping time, it's corporate year-end time, whatever, I don't have to go chasing that down anymore. Like, I already have this stuff. So I just got a day back. And you know what I can use that day to do? Grow the business. Have more time in my personal life. Get better results for my clients. The things that you want time for, right? And so, okay, how can I serve you in this video? What do I really want to... Oh, my book just fell behind the sofa. What I want you to really take away is that... couple lessons. It's really about the person you become. If you can start thinking like that, it's going to make taking the actions and not immediately seeing the results a lot easier. And so if you can focus on that, even in the hardest times or whatever it is, on the person that you're becoming in the process, you'll be so much more happier as you go through it, right? Because that's an instant win, right? Waiting for the external results, that takes farther out in the future. This is an instant win, and to me, it's the most gratifying. I love it, right? So focus on that. The second thing is having awareness on, inputs versus outputs, I would say. Like, an example in this case, an input is systemizing this process. An output is, wow, I just got 4 hours of time back at tax time or whatever, right? An input to the, things that you can control, right? An input in the fitness thing is, yeah, I hit my macros every day this week. An output is, I lost 2 pounds on the scale this week. You can't 100% control that, but you can 100% control this one. And then the last thing that I want to say is you have a framework, in a sense, for what this change should look like. You first need awareness. And then you need to shift your thinking. And then you need to take new actions based on that thinking. And then you'll get a different result, right? So hopefully that's helpful. But I really just wanted to share that. And if you take nothing from this, I just want you to know that it's not always about those external wins. And if you focus on the internal wins and the internal shifts and the inputs that go into the equation, the outputs will follow. You'll be a lot happier in the process as well. So hopefully this was valuable. Lots of love. But I was just thinking this on Saturday morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really set up to film this. Me and my literally just rolled out of bed hair. It's like 6:15 in the morning, right? But I wanted to share. So hope it's valuable. Lots of love. And by the way, shameless plug, if you need any help scaling your coaching business, scaling your coaching business, I can probably help you, especially if you need more leads. We've got some ad systems that are working fucking amazing. Like, there's some clients in the program right now, 10-to-1 ROAS, 16-to-1 ROAS, return on their ad spend. I typically have anywhere between a 10 to a 30-to-1 return on my ad spend. Like, there's people in the program, like, doing, $7,200 weeks. Some people are doing, 30, 50K months. There's also some obviously newer people farther along. Not everyone's doing those numbers, right? But we got a system that works. So I'll just say, if you want any help, click the link below the fucking video. Pardon my French. And yeah, book in a call with me. And if I truly think I can help, then we'll talk about what that looks like. And if I don't think I can help, I'll tell you why. And regardless, you'll leave the call better than when you got on there, because I actually want to fucking help you. So yeah, if we're a good fit to work together, we can talk about that. And I'm sure that's going to be a great thing for you. And if we can't, it's still going to be a great thing for you. I'm still going to leave you with something. I'm going to send you some sort of resource to make you farther ahead after that conversation than before we had that conversation, because that's how I like to roll. So anyways, if that's you, if you want help growing, scaling your coaching business, click the link below, book in a time to chat. Lots of love. Happy Saturday. I hope this helps. If you execute this, if you shift your thinking like this, I know it will. Okay, lots of love. Bye.